Hello again, this is News Today. Now, residents along the coastal belts of the central region are worried about weeds that have been washed ashore during the week. Fishermen along the coast also say the brownish substances are impeding fishing activities. Central Regional Correspondent Richard Kojo-Nyakon reports that the weed-like substances from the sea are also hindering activities of the Easter holiday makers who have traveled from far to the central region. He's joined us over the telephone and we'll get a quick update on the situation. Hello, Richard.
Hello.
What's different about today?
Well, it's still the same. The substance looks like flowers that are withered or dried up. Some residents have been engaging on this matter. Say they realized this about 5 days ago, but today it's been very, very huge. They are coming in drones. The entire beachfront along the coastal belt of some parts of the region has been swallowed up by these substances. The substances are being washed ashore in large quantities. People have been left in a realm of speculation, asking themselves loads of questions. They want to know where the substance is coming from, what might have triggered this happening, the implications, and questions. Some people have also flooded the beaches, feasting their eyes on the current development. I must also say that some who are also worried say the development has truncated their activities. According to them, when they cast their net, they only harvest these substances, making it very tough for them in their business. Now, you also know that today is Easter Monday. This development has obviously a lot of repercussions for revelers who have traveled far and near to enjoy themselves at the beaches. Today, when I went there, the revelers and event organizers were finding it very, very difficult. Some of them have actually hired people to clear some of the areas to be using to make merry at the beaches, but they are unsure whether people can swim because, according to some experts I have spoken with, they are saying that it will be unsafe for people to swim in the sea, looking at the large quantity
Is that the concern?
Substances. Yeah, these are the concerns, looking at large quantities that are being churned out from the sea.
Right, Richard, and so what's been done about the situation?
Well, nothing has been done. The EPA has not responded or has not said anything about this thing. The researchers at the University of Cape Coast are yet to also comment about the situation. And so these weeks are still looking on the surface of the beaches at the beachfront, and they are still coming in large quantities. So nothing has been done about it.
Right, Richard, thank you very much for that update. Richard Kojo-Nyakon joined us from the central region. Let's move on to somewhere else. And the district chief executive of Sojaman, Thomas Nyakon, has called for unity among the Inum traditional leaders. He said the lack of unity among the chiefs has hampered development of the area because different factions oppose projects marked for their community.
The chiefs of Anum traditional area have been disagreeing about the establishment of projects and where projects should be sited for many years. The result is that development in Anum area has stalled. The DCE for Sojaman, Thomas Nyakon, is not too happy about the incessant disunity and has called on them to address their grievances and put their communities first.
It is an opportunity for them to put aside all their differences and come together, so we will seize this opportunity to benefit from our share of the Better Ghana agenda.
He outlined some developmental projects the district will be tackling in the coming years.
We are focusing on education, we are focusing on tourism development, and once we develop tourism, employment will also be created. Jobs are going to be created.
Thomas Nyakon also advised the youth to aspire to make a difference in the community.
Heavy downpour in Daboya in the North Gonja district of the northern region have rendered hundreds of residents in the district homeless. The rainstorm that lasted for more than 2 hours in the area last night has destroyed properties of residents worth thousands of Ghana cedis. The roofs of more than 100 houses and 28 classroom blocks in 5 basic schools within the district, Daboya, DA Junior High School, Marikazia Primary School, Asafo Junior High School, Parabia and Salsiat primary schools had their roofs ripped off completely. The torrential rain also wreaked havoc to the roof of 4 mosques and houses of police officers and the district police station. Electrical appliances such as refrigerators, television sets, electrical poles, foodstuff and clothing of residents were also destroyed in the rainstorm. The affected victims are living with friends, family members, relatives in the area. The district chief executive for North Gonja, Sekute Yahuza, tells Joy News that the district assembly alone cannot be able to support the victims and is appealing to central government and other non-governmental organizations to come to the aid of the displaced residents. Right, let's move back to earlier story that has to do with Senchi. And travelers using the Senchi ferry site say the 50 pesos charged for accessing the toilet facility, for having access to the toilet facility, is too much. The facility was recently opened after the situation of the ferry, after citing the ferry site at Senchi to allow for repair works on the Adome Bridge. Now, I have over the telephone a native of Akwemu, Osaberima, Kenya. Thank you very much, Osaberima, for joining us here on News Today.
Thank you.
And so travelers are complaining that the 50 pesos charged to have access to the toilet facility is too much. That's the situation?
Hello?
Hello, Osaberima.
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
I'm asking about the situation of having access to the toilet facility.
Oh, thank you very much and good afternoon to your listeners and watchers. In fact, for now, I can say they have now finished the toilet facility about 3 days ago. But as we are taking now, personally, I've used the place and know that there's no water flowing. So the one in charge has to go to the river and fetch water for anybody who wants to use the place. And they are charging 50 pesos per head. And this is much concern to the users. They are complaining that when they were in the they were paying 30 pesos and 20 pesos. Now that it's 50 pesos, they are still worried about the fare. Apart from the toilet facility, we can say that this one is at the southern sector of the bridge. I'm talking of the safety side. But for the old Accredited side, they have not finished with the toilet facility. That one I can confirm to you for that. In other development, the sellers, those who sell here, are so much compared, especially the provisions. They are saying that this market is not booming here. For the next maybe 6-7 months, their product will be expired, and it has been another worrisome to them. Apart from this facility and whatever, we can also talk of the Easter festivity. This
we have lost Osaberima there, but he was giving us on an update on the toilet facility opening at the Senchi ferry site. Let's move on to some other stories. And parish priest at the Christ the King Church, Reverend Father Andrew Campbell, says people's unwillingness to name their children after one of the 12 disciples of Jesus Christ reinforces the influence names have. He tells Joy News the stigma attached to the name Judas Iscariot, who the Bible reveals betrays Jesus, is justifiable.
Sold Jesus just for £5, which is less than 20 cedis. You know, you sell your master for 20 pieces of silver, for 20 or 30 pieces of silver. If I call my child Judas, people will call him, you know, he's a stingy, he betrayed Jesus. The stigma is there. So nobody will call themselves after Judas, and I wouldn't advise him. No, I wouldn't.
So will he baptize anyone who wants to name his or her child Judas? The parish priest was crafty with his answer to this question.
I'd ask him the reason why. I'd ask him why is he baptizing such and such. I'll leave it to him. This is what his choice is. How can I refuse? I leave it to him. If he can understand that God in his mercy and love would have forgiven Judas and such, but if he sees Judas in a bad light, that Judas gone to hell and Judas such and such, then I wouldn't baptize.
There's more news after this. You're welcome back. Now, travelers using the Ferry site say the 50% charge for accessing the toilet facility is too much. And earlier on, we were talking to a resident of Akwemu and Osaberima Nyakon. Thank you very much, Osaberima, for coming back onto the telephone. Right. So you were telling us that indeed the toilet facility is opened, and also the fact that there is no water to run the toilet facility system. And so how are people managing? How are travelers managing with the toilet facility without the water?
They don't have any option. The madam is trying all that she could. Like, you can just fetch water from the mainstream and then help you flush whatever you use. But the problem that we are saying is that the truth is that they have the political system. I don't know the reason why they are not filling it with water. And from where the toilet is and the water is not far. I don't know the reason why they cannot just buy ordinary maybe pumping machine to pump the water into the toilet facility. That has been a problem. We don't know whom we can speak to. Maybe in future we can call the chief executive or any of the highway authority officials to work on it. But the truth is that other side is that those who are selling provisions and what have you are slowly complaining, as I told you earlier, that within the next 6 months they may lose all their provisions because business is not going on well here. And for that matter, they are expecting that the next 6 months the things will be out of stock because expires will be the order of the day. In other things, the place has also turned into a tourist center. Most people that we see here are coming all the way from Marseille, Daboya, and others to come and see the ferry. So the tourists have also increased here. And then some are also going to the Kitty. And to talk of the Kitty is one of the best things that we can talk when it comes to tourism in the Jamaica for the Kitty here.
And so, how about patronage of this Saint toilet facility?
In fact, people are not, the patronage is very, very bad because it's not easy when you after using the washroom and then you'll be waiting to fetch water. So they are not going on as we expect. But generally, the situation is that there is no water unless the woman fetch from the mainstream. I don't know if you want to talk to the woman.
And so if there is no water, then how are people relieving themselves?
After that, the woman will fetch from the mainstream, give it to you, flush it yourself.
So, but you told us also that patronage of the toilet facility is low. First of all, do we know why it is so?
Well, I don't know. Maybe because the people are using the bush or whatever.
The general impression we get is the fact that the 50% being charged to use the toilet facility is too much. Is that what you see being on the ground?
Well, maybe it may be one of the factors. But the truth is that for all this months, for all these weeks that they opened the ferry, there was no toilet facility here. So people are so used to maybe after this one, people will be prepared. Because even if you look at the main entrance, all over, it's only the main one that you can see a man and then a woman pictures on it. There's no well-written toilet or whatever. So that people may see and then maybe use the maybe as we go on, as we have reported, this will change.
Right, but the toilet at Akrade, what's become of it?
Come again.
The toilet facility at Akrade. What we've been talking about is at the St. Ferry point, but at Akrade there's supposed to be another. What's become of that?
For Old Akrade, section of the ferry finished the toilet facility. So for that place, you think about what people do.
I'm not sure I got that, Osaberima.
I'm saying that we have the St. side, which they have finished, but the people are not patronizing. But the other side, that's the Akrade side of the ferry, they haven't finished the washroom.
Oh, I see.
That, I don't know how people are using. What are they? Yeah.
But we know how Easter comes with a lot of traveling. Tell us about traffic as far with the use of the ferry. Tell us about traffic in the area.
In fact, fact, this movement, you can see from the session to the ferry, we are more or less, let me use the word, fit or semi-holiday, because there's no traffic here. But the other side, the side has been a very hectic time. They are having a very, very hectic time because most people are coming all the way from Enugu, Afikusu, Abuasan, and others to come and go to the city for beach. So that time, this time, the other side is very, very busy, but this side, there's no activity, let me use that word, because there's no traffic.
And so are you able to tell us also the security situation at Accra, which holds the large numbers of people?
Come again, madam.
I'm asking if you're able to tell us about Accra, the security situation in Accra, where most of the people are stationed.
In fact, the security agency have done very, very well. Let me give class to the district commander and his men. They are here 24/7. As I'm speaking, I can see about 2 of them here making sure that things are in order. So for security, I would say it's perfectly done. But before you go, I've got one of the chiefs of the area. He's the Jaswahene around this area, as to a traditional area. Maybe we want to ask you 1 or 2 questions so far as this ferry and the security and the development. When it comes to development, we talk of the personal development, talk of the everything. So let me introduce him to you so that you ask him 1 or 2 questions. Now you are welcome to join TV News. Thank you. Hello.
Right. Osaberima, unfortunately, would end our conversation here. And happy holiday to you. Now, let's move on to some education stories. And computers donated to the Abrim Esiam Basic School to facilitate ICT education have become relics on display. This is because electricity supply to the school has been disconnected. Students only go to the computer room to stare at the computers without operating them.
Brim Esiam Basic School has only 13 computers for the entire student population, but the number of computers is not really their biggest headache, rather electricity supply to the school. The headmaster of Brim Esiam Basic School, Samuel Kofi Anko, said the school was disconnected from the national grid several years ago for non-payment of bills. He said lack of electricity is affecting ICT education in the school.
The ICT department, for instance, we don't have electricity as at now. We have been disconnected, and the amount involved is so large, is so huge that we find it extremely difficult to operate the computers, that is the laptops that have been donated to the school. Now we have 11 computers donated by the government. Then the MP, Honorable Dr. Nana Atuata, was also involved, so he gave us 2 additional. So right now we have 13. But taking a look at the number of students that we have in the school, compared to the 13, averagely we have about one computer to about 13 students, which is also not very good enough. And then the computer lab too is sad that we don't have tables and chairs where the children can sit comfortably to operate the laptops.
The headmaster said their school was constructed by the people of Abrim Isiam with support from other benevolent organizations. He therefore appealed to government to complement their effort by reconnecting electricity to the school. Georgina Pierce report for Joynews.
Let's head for the Volta region now. And Easter Monday is observed as a picnic day across the country. It's a time when families and various religious groups hold programs to bring members together to fraternize. And so we're going across the regions. We'll start off with the Volta region, where Joynews' Komla Ado is on standby for us. Hello, Komla. Happy holiday to you.
Yeah, same, Kamini.
Tell us about the Volta region and Picnic Monday.
Absolutely. Well, it's been a very long, quite a long, stretch of holidays. There's been lots of Christian conventions, travels to hometowns as well. Except that, a lot of complaints about traffic at the Senchi. Today, lots of people are just, doing their family gatherings, family and friends, doing some parties, and I think it's been calm, security-wise as well. Has been very calm. Nothing serious has been recorded.
Over the Easter period, I heard that the Volta region is the new Kwewu.
Well, pretty much. It's amazing how serious people take this season. You go around, you see family and friends gathered, having some beer and the rest. I haven't had any beer yet, but I hope I'll get some. Gatherings, people use the occasion as well in their communities to mark, if you like, festivals, or they use it. They use the time to gather and then celebrate. And so, if you say it's the new Kwewu, I think I agree with you.
If you haven't had any beer yet, our mobile money use something for beer. Thank you very much, Komla. Right, Komla Ada joined us from the Volta region with an update on Picnic Monday as part of the Easter celebration. So go across the rest of the regions. Don't go away. I'll be right back. Enormous rot has been discovered as the bane of a number of road crashes in the country. That's according to a latest expose by ACE investigative reporter Anas Arimiyawanas. From licensed racketeering to wanton corruption, Ghana's prime roads continue to suffer from a number of road accidents. Here are excerpts from Anas's Soul Takers.
Shining around your throne.
Every day, a lot of people get disabled. Accidents result in serious fatalities and serious disability.
17,000 road crashes in a year. The vehicle population is not up to 1.5 million.
With its associated risks of disability, incapacity, and death, road accidents threatens all of us. After an investigative meeting, my team and I decided to approach the situation from 3 different phases. How people acquire licenses at the DVLA and the killer fraud that surrounds it is the first on Soul Takers. We put the spotlight on the driver killers we are forced to share the roads with, a documentary that would be titled Doom.
Somebody's carelessness.
Are you trying to drag me away?
We uncover corruption on the part of bad cops within the motor traffic.
You can watch the full of the expose on Soul Takers at 4 p.m. here on Joy News. But let's look a bit further at this matter. Kwame Kodua is Communications Director with the National Road Safety Commission. Hello, Kwame. Hello, Kwame.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you, and thank you very much for your time here on News Today. But Kwame, when we look at the kind of rot we have in our various institutions, the stakeholders within the road safety business, how does it make you feel about them?
Well, thank you very much, and good afternoon to your viewers. I think we have said time on end that safety is everybody's concern and responsibility. We appreciate the support we get from our stakeholder institutions. In fact, without them, the situation would be much worse than it is today. Having said that, we consider that some of them have some compelling challenges that affect what they do, in the end going to impact on our overall safety situation. I think that it is also worthy to commend the work done by Tiger Eye in this regard. But the DVLA as an institution, without pretending to talk for them, I know that they seem to appreciate some of these concerns within their setup. And I know that they have taken some steps in order to deal with these concerns. In the past, these are matters that occasionally come to your attention without hardcore evidence, if you like. So it makes it very difficult for anyone to take any steps about these concerns. But I believe that from what they have done on their own in the recent, and also from the documentary and work of Tiger, I want to believe that they would take the benefit from it and try to act accordingly. That's just to do with the DVLA. I think another equally important agency as far as we're concerned is the police. And research has proven that no matter what the levels of advocacy are, if you do not get a complementary support from, if you like, the enforcement agencies, it goes to affect what you do as well. But oftentimes, the police, again, without pretend, talk for them, have their own constraints. I'm told, and I have no reason to doubt that. And if you look at the Ghana Police Service budget for a year, hardly would you find any budgetary allocation for MTTD, even though the number of persons who get killed through armed robbery and violent crimes do not measure up to those who get killed on our road. So it's a matter of our overall institutional commitment to these matters.
But,
so that,
Kwame,
yeah.
You, as the National Road Safety Commission, you know some of these concerns. You know the little or lack of budget for the MTTD of the Ghana Police Service. You've been spending so much on trying to educate drivers and road users on road safety. But actions as these, as the ones we saw in the excerpts of the announced video, will only bring all the hard work the Commission is doing to nothing. And so what has the Commission been doing to ensure that we get close to 100% results of all of its hard work? If we know that indeed this is what happens with the MTTD, we know that this is what happens at the DVLA, all the stakeholder institutions as far as road safety is concerned, what have you done?
Oh, I think that we've done a lot. We've done a lot. We have put together a strategy based on data, which places a lot more responsibility on not these two agencies alone, but others, including the road sector agencies. But we live in a very lawful environment. The Commission has been set up in its currency the last 10 to 15 years as a coordinating agency, which is that we try to influence what these other agencies do from research and data without an opportunity, as it happens elsewhere, to demand a certain level of compliance. Our ministry is very much aware of this, if you like, regulatory legal lapse, and is taking steps to try to get our act reviewed, so that beyond the advocacy we do, beyond the data we share, the research, the policy we formulate, we'll be in a position, not too soon, not too long from now, to be able to ask more than we do. Well, unfortunately, as the Commission is set up in its current mode, when an agency, for instance, fail to comply with what you consider best road safety practice, your hands are tied. There's too little that you can do. I'll give you a practical example. For instance, if a new road is being constructed, the Commission has a responsibility to work with others to do what we call the road safety audit, which is to audit the design of the road and also ensure, or also find out whether the construction meets these designs, i.e., whether they have sufficient pedestrian crossing points, whether they are enough safety facilities. In the event where the Commission is not satisfied, and based on best practice and standards would have wished that a lot more is done, than what has been provided. Within the current legal framework, what guides what we do, I mean, there's a very limited intervention that might come from us. So we think that, yes, advocacy alone will not be enough. We require a lot more from the other agents. But within the constraints of our law, we are doing what is humanly possible. We expect our ministry, the Ministry of Transport, to demonstrate as it has done over time, to help renew the legal mandate of the commission. I believe when that is done, we'll begin to see a more robust commission.
Kwame, this renewing the legal mandate of the commission, as far as I'm concerned, it's been in the pipeline for a very long time. When would you say we are going to see that renewal of that mandate that will allow the commission to bite and not only give recommendations that are not binding on any of the stakeholder institutions at all?
Yes, I appreciate the in fact, but for the last election, I'm sure would have made some important steps by now. But with the new officers in various stakeholder institutions and of course the ministry, there was a need that from 2012, 13 last year, we needed to appraise our stakeholders again of the content and how it will affect them to what they do. If you reflect on what's happened over the last year, I think that in major road safety related programs, the ministry has been very much concerned to communicate what is being done. I'm aware that it was soon received cabinet attention, that is this kind of cabinet attention before it gets to Parliament for the other processes to continue.
Kwame, last year we had the same information you're giving us.
Yes, that's what
my question is, how serious is this, at least for the commission itself?
Yes, for us, it's a major expectation. I mean, without it, many of these concerns we raise, many of the issues that we speak of, it's not as though they are entirely new. From data, we know the reasons why these incidents happen. Unfortunately, in trying to develop measures, there's a limit to what we can do. But as I tried to explain to you, but for the election, I think that we had gone through all the necessary stakeholder consultations. It had gone to our former Minister of Transport, Alhaji Kolinsa, that he had made very, very important inputs. But we were constrained by time at the time to move at that step. And when you have a new regime, however you look at it, you have a new minister in place, new directors at the various ministries, various stakeholders have new officers. You need to somewhat start over the process again to let them appreciate what these changes mean and how it will impact on our relationship. And that is what we have been trying to do between 2013 and now. I am confident that given the work that has been done within this period, there's a certain likelihood that we'll be able to do the right of this.
We'll leave it here for now. Thank you very mumuch, Kwame. Kwame Etiahene is Communications Director for the National Road Safety Commission. Let's go over to the Ashanti region and check up on Picnic Monday as people mark the final day of the Easter celebrations. Mahmoud Mohammed Nuruddin is joining us from the area. Hello, Nuruddin.
Okay,
all right. Tell us about Easter and the Ashanti region.
All right, Kermini, here in Ashanti, people are having a nice time right from their houses to churches and to the prayer centers. They are having a nice time. They are enjoying the occasion, and they Yesterday, for instance, like we would always expect occasions like this, you would expect people to enjoy and celebrate. So yesterday, for instance, some made some donations to some rehabilitation centers to help them also enjoy the day. And unfortunately, during the night, there was a rainfall, so it wasn't good for some other residents because they have to give up any activity that they were going to embark last night. And today we are also expecting a lot of people at the lake concentrate to continue the celebration. So in Ashanti region, Kumasi to be precise, people are really enjoying it. They are celebrating the event.
Thank you very much, Nuruddin, for that update. Mahmoud Mohammed Nuruddin joined us from the Ashanti region as the area joins the rest of the country to mark the last day of the Easter celebrations. Now let's move on to business now. And the banking public will from next month most likely pay more on any service rendered to them by the bank. Joy Business gathers that the commercial banks, together with the Ghana Revenue Authority, have now agreed for the tax on their services to be implemented from May instead of this month. This could mean that the cost of some services offered by the financial institutions could go up by 17.5% unless they decide to absorb the cost. Joy Business has learned some commercial banks have already sent notifications to their customers about the tax taking off next month. However, some analysts are worried that the tax may affect efforts to encourage more people to save with the commercial banks. Move on to Japan, and trade deficit quadrupled in March as exports growth slowed down. If you're a movie freak, then you may have seen this. The much anticipated movie Sisters of War, directed by Frank Raja, saw its premiere at the Silverbird Cinemas on Good Friday. Our reporter Rebecca Dako Cheneboa witnessed the premiere and reports.
Movie lovers all over Ghana gathered at the Silverbird Cinemas to witness the official premiere of the movie Sisters at War.
Oh my God! Okay. I'm there, Jimmy. They will catch somewhere like this. They catch fine girl. If they do, Madam Kumeme. Hey,
Speaking to some of the characters, they shared their experience.
I'm actually really grateful for the fact that I'm working alongside people like Jackie Apia and Yvonne Nelson, Kofi Ajololo. So it's quite an amazing experience. I'm truly honored and I'm grateful for the opportunity.
The role I played in this movie is just a minor role, but I have bigger things coming. Just a minor role, but me, God is good, because if I play even one scene in a movie, it's like I played 10.
The production was very well done, and yeah, you guys should come back for part 2. Part 1 was awesome, so yeah, the acting was awesome too.
Some patrons could not hide their excitement.
So far it's been like the part 1 only, but I won't say I've learned lessons. I just enjoyed the whole bit of it. I enjoyed Bismarck, the joke. It was quite funny in there. Kofi Ajololo, strong actor.
Meanwhile, producers are urging all Ghanaians to patronize the newly outdoor movie.
Welcome, Mom.
If you haven't seen it, you should. But a recap of our headlines. Residents along the coastal belt of the central region express worry about weeds that have been washed ashore during the week. Well, it's a holiday. We'll have you some fun. I'll see you tomorrow. But enjoy the rest of our broadcast. Find more news on myjoyonline.com. My name is Kimini Nyamani Amano. Happy holidays.